We're traveling to 8 cities across Africa to find bold, innovative entrepreneurs tackling real-world challenges head-on. Each city's winner will advance to the finale in Mauritius to compete for investment. Welcome to Nairobi, Kenya, a city of history, ambition, and unstoppable energy. Entrepreneurship here is a way of life. At the center of it all is the ALX Ventures City Accelerator, where the city's top minds are shaping the future. This accelerator is more than a launch pad. It's a hub for creating jobs, driving innovation, and building the skills needed for a tech-driven world. With support from dedicated mentors, each founder is refining their vision, preparing for a pitch that could change everything. The stakes are high and the pressure is up. It's make or break as our founders work with their mentors to perfect every word, every idea, and every moment. Welcome to the Do Hard Things Challenge. Let's meet our first founder, Moses, and his hope to bring a game-changing solution that combines farming finance and cryptocurrency.
My entire life, I believe I've had to do hard things to be able to find solutions. Having grown up in this land and seeing different problems as well, from there, I've always wanted to create social impact projects, not just for me, but for people I call family, for those people I have a connection to, because I've seen some of the problems, and I believe entrepreneurship as a way of solving those particular problems.
Anybody who's curious and also not necessarily afraid to break the rules is definitely somebody I think is great for entrepreneurship, because through this journey, there's a lot of rejection.
Hello everyone, my name is Liech. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Investa Farm. Back in 2020, when COVID-19 hit Africa, I lost my job. Just like so many people, I moved away from the cities and went back to my village. I started a farming project and applied for a loan from a banking institution. Despite the complicated application procedures, I still got rejected. When I finally got a loan from a friend, the interest rates were very high, making me not able to repay the debt and finally lose the friendship. My story shared across by 80% of 60 million farmers across Africa were not able to access finances due to complicated application procedures, high interest rates putting away farmers, and different other factors. In the same breath, we have over 200 billion worth of digital assets held by cryptocurrency lenders, representing a missed opportunity for investment. At Investa Farm, we bring these two worlds together. For farmers, we provide easy, quick, insured loans for their inputs. What generally happens is that after you apply for a loan, instead of giving you money, we give you inputs instead. Our ticket sizes start from $3,000 all the way up to $10,000. So what does Kamau need to access our loans? Number one, Kamau needs his name, Kamau. Number two, Kamau needs a title deed. And number three, Kamau needs data to show his past farming records. For lenders, it depends with which token you use to invest into the platform. We have our interest rates generally range from 3% all the way to 8%. We also have integrated different wallets to enable lenders to lend more effectively onto the platform. So this is generally how the platform looks like. We list farmers onto a marketplace, then lenders can be able to lend through stablecoins. The platform automatically converts the different cryptocurrencies into different local currencies depending on the area in which we're investing in. So far, the agri-financing market is growing to around 180 billion by 2030 according to the FSD. The DeFi lending space, where we are getting our money from, is also projected to grow to 36.7 billion. We have a plan to finance 100,000 farmers in the next 5 years, and even greater plan to onboard 10,000 lenders onto our platform. We generate revenue from a multifaceted approach, depending on the customer segmentation. But our main revenue model is through the loan interest, either from loans we provide ourselves through our own liquidity, or the peer-to-peer lending model that we have. So this is my team, co-founders working for one of the leading banking institutions, with the other one working for one of the most growing Web3 communities. Myself, I've been a founder for my entire life, I would say so, and a team of advisors as well. We want to be the next JP Morgan Chase Bank of Africa. We are aiming to finance 100 million in the next 5 years. And what does this mean? Number one, more job opportunities. Number two, expanded financing options to more women who make 70% of the entire agricultural workforce through chamas against their savings.
As the judges consider his pitch, we're left to wonder, will this innovation take them to the next level?
Thank you, Moses, for your presentation. Can I ask you a question? Because I don't think you were able to get to that part. Were you guys able to raise any capital so far?
Yes, we are backed by 3 venture capital, Startup Bootcamp Amsterdam, ALX Ventures, and we have a Denis Labs. So we've so far raised 130k euros, but for pre-seed, so that was like before pre-seed. For pre-seed, we're raising 2.8 million. Part of that is going into liquidity, and part of that is going into business development and growth. So far, we've onboarded farmers from Kiambu, Nakuru, Nairobi, and we're aiming at growing our B2B business model because that's our main model. So we don't onboard farmers directly, we onboard them through different agribusinesses.
Okay. So may I suggest you narrow down on your competitors,
Okay.
So that at least you have a key one that you can approach, or rather you can, have a differentiator. The other one is on what happens to non-tech farmers.
Yes, so that's why we are actually onboarding them through agro stores. We don't onboard farmers directly onto the platform. Another thing we've done is, we've been doing this for some time, so we got feedback obviously from the different pilots we had. So we sort of like built down the platform. So right now you can register through the platform using your email and phone number, but still it's more of like indirect onboarding process. Yeah.
Next up is Lavender from Climber 360 with a bold idea to tackle the agriculture sector. Will it be enough to wow the judges?
I'm led by curiosity and tenacity. Those are the 2 things that I hold close, because I know if you're going to have a curious mind, you better have the grit. I have the privilege of still having my great-grandmother alive to this day, and I have watched her do one thing, farming. Every time I'm in the farm and I'm interacting with the people I'm solving the problem for, it always takes me back. I've met farmers. There are notes we share, and hearing the challenges they're now facing with the reality of climate change is a wake-up call. So I'm really passionate about how do we keep that alive, not just farm to table, but also everything that goes around what agriculture is for the African community.
Ultimately, if we want to build a sustainable tech ecosystem across the continent, we are going to have to focus on profitability. Because if we don't, then we will be forever dependent on aid.
Meet Nekesa, a farmer in the western parts of Kenya who's been feeding her community for the last 10 years. 2 years ago, when drought hit the western parts of Kenya, she was not able to harvest as expected. This meant for her that she is not only at the risk of losing her livelihood, but she would not also be able to plant in the next coming season. This is a problem that we are starting to see across the region, where changes in climate are leading to losses for farmers and increased food insecurity. To understand this problem, my team looked into what are the pain points for these farmers. And we came across the water, energy, and food nexus and its complexity, where the financial institutions that ideally would give the resources necessary to farmers like Nekesa to be able to shield themselves don't have the necessary data to underwrite and understand the kind of risk that they're bringing into their portfolio. This is me in Rwanda looking into this nexus and finding out ways in which we can innovate in this space. So the problem is simple. The data is complex, it's fragmented, which leads to inefficiency in decision making for institutions like insurance companies and credit providers. This is a huge opportunity should we solve this. And this is where Climate 360 comes in. We are building one of Africa's first data engine for the WEF Nexus, which will bring in this data from the farmers, have machine learning models for predicting modeling, and user-friendly tools for the farmers. How does this look like? At any point, we are able to tell the production data of the farmer, market data and the market profile, and most importantly, in our value proposition, provide a financial risk score for these institutions to be able to protect the farmers. Our target market in the beginning is farmer-facing organizations and financiers, along with making money off of subscriptions and product commissions. Our traction so far. We have mapped all these areas in East Africa, worked with underwriters, and gotten licensing, and we are now launching our digital twin project in Uganda. Our team comprises of experts across the region who've worked for consulting firms globally and have been able to bring this idea to life. Join us in the journey to creating agricultural resilience for over 1 million farmers across Africa.
Will Lavender's vision stand out amongst the competition? The judges will have a tough call to make.
I think the first question is, how are you verifying the data in which you're collecting at the last mile? Because for you to build the necessary models that can scale across a region or basically allow for projections for your different stakeholders, you need to have some degree of verification and immutability on the data. So how are you handling that before you get to the artificial intelligence or the modeling side?
That's actually one part that was quite a challenge. Initially, we were tackling it by using satellite data, and we saw that there are a couple of challenges, including resolution that comes with that. So we've improved on this by bringing in partners who are giving us more accurate data from ground. So for the business model, so far, we are charging for the use of the platform, which goes which goes at $50. But our most what we're looking at is making a percentage commission off of the partner products that we sell, like insurance.
So currently, who is paying that cost? Is it the farmers or is it the underwriters?
So for the project that we're launching in Uganda, we have two models. So we have the farmer-facing organizations who are paying the subscription, but we've also gotten interest from individuals who would love to farm in Uganda who are paying for the digital twin product.
Last but not least, we have two founders, Billy and Denis, who are looking to take hold of an opportunity that they see on a day-to-day basis.
This new technology that you're working with is very interesting. It allows us to have our prices better. It allows us to explore solutions that are actually realistic and doable and that actually help people.
I also have this fervent need to actually provide solutions that many have tried before, but I think that it is a way we can do it. That's why we're here.
So some of the challenges that early stage founders face that we support them with, I would say the first is definitely mindset, getting them to understand that this is not a flash in the pan, quick sort of project, that if they're in this and you're actually gonna get in here and become an entrepreneur, you're setting aside the next 3 to 5 years at the very least to build this out and go after a problem that you really, really wanna go after.
So, hello everyone. Just a quick survey before we start the pitch. So, how many people have used public transport before? Show of hands. Okay, thank you. How many people have gotten late and had this phrase, Africans don't keep time, but you know for sure it's not your fault? Hands up. Okay, thank you.
Right, I bet one of the reasons why that is because just like our friend Bob here, you experience some of these challenges. When you're on the stage, you never know when the bus is coming, you never know whether you're going to get a seat on that bus, and most importantly, you never know whether they're going to pay the same like you did yesterday. Well, we have a solution for you.
And the solution is E-Moti. So we are trying to make transport more convenient and reliable and not exempting affordability and eco-friendliness. For you, for us, for Bob, and many Bobs.
And you see the problem is much bigger than all of us in this room. Actually, it represents around 3.3 million Nairobians. And at a $200 million market size, we're still talking about 20% of the problem. Something has to be done.
And I agree. So people have tried it before, but they're definitely not like us. We've been able to tick all the boxes from eco-friendliness to reliability to convenience and notwithstanding affordability because of what we do, and Billy will tell you about.
Now you're actually asking yourself, how are we different from the rest? It's because we combine both hardware and software to do it. Now the hardware helps us to make it affordable for you because we use electric buses that have low OPEX. And then the software, Maina, helps us give you that convenience and reliability through tech like machine learning, IoT, and telematics.
Yes, and that's actually how we make money. So we use Manara to direct traffic into our buses, and as such, we're able to use such cool features such as bus scheduling and bus tracking to get more people onto a bus and make money. And for B2B, we partner with companies like ALX to be able to move people affordably with the click of a button.
And we've been busy, guys. In the last 60 days, and with only one bus, we've moved 31,500 people, which translates to around $13,000 in revenue and 47% in GP margins.
And we've gone this far, but we've not even told you who we are. So my name is Denis Muchoki. I'm the CEO and co-founder of E-Moti.
And my name is Billy Mwangi. I'm the CEO and co-founder at E-Moti. And to make this dream happen, we've been working with an amazing team. Some of our advisors, from entrepreneurs to technical advisors, development team at Manara, and more importantly, our staff who actually run the bus every day.
And so we want to move more people. And to do that, we're currently looking for $200,000 in financing to acquire more vehicles, to fully develop Manara, and again, run our operational activities rather well. So for the Africans in the room who've been told, you've been late because of this and that, you don't have a reason to because of the E-Moti.
Let's change this narrative for both Nairobi and many other African cities.
Yeah, E-Moti, E-Moti moving you. Thank you.
E-Moti's idea combines green technology with transport. Are the judges impressed with their pitch?
Feedback, good structure. So I like the structure of how you pitched. That was good. The question is on EVs, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're using. What's that cost looking like in sustainability of the same?
Okay, in terms of sustainability, we actually take it because there's zero tailpipe emissions. The reason why we're able to actually put our prices affordably is because running an EV is actually cheaper than a normal internal combustion engine vehicle. So we're able to price our prices. Okay, our OPEX is lower, so we can put slightly lower prices and still make quite enough margins. So the CapEx is the problem, probably, and that's why we're trying to fundraise. Because we're trying to solve this issue for each and everybody. And that's why, yes, we're looking for your support to be able to do that.
Besides the two of you, who's part of your ExCom?
Right, so part of our team also is from our advisors. He helped us with the ExCom. We got a legal advisor, we got a financial modeling guy. So that formed part of most of our ExCom.
I really liked how you guys are able to provide what you're defining as also like an eco-friendly solution through e-mobility while making money. That's very good. So my question is more related to, so you're fundraising right now, $200,000, correct? What happens if you're not able to raise that capital in the next 3 to 6 months? What is going to be your operating strategy? Are you just going to continue with this one bus, or do you expect to optimize on costs so that you might be able to invest in another bus with those revenues?
So currently with this bus, we're running it on a lease model. We've actually run the numbers and we see it works, and at present there's at least more than one bus provider in the country. So this is something we can actually work on. And on the side, we're also working with Manara, which not only will serve us, but because we don't want to be disruptive in the industry, we'll also accommodate other operators.
If to her question you add in the cost of debt, if you raise it, or equity, alongside the value of the asset based on depreciation and the fact that after a certain number of charging cycles, especially because it's a daily moving asset, you're going to need to invest in the same infrastructure. You need to review what your true margins are like, because remember, very few people buy used electric EVs beyond a certain lifespan, because after that it just becomes a gamble on operation costs. So that's something you need to factor into your operating margins and your true margins. Otherwise, if you can really crack it at that point, you may not even need to be raising debt, because banks can asset finance you, climate funds can finance you on the infrastructure, being the buses and the charging network. But if you can't crack that, you'll talk to a couple of VCs and then there'll be pushback after a while, which is where most EV companies right now that are trying to get into your space are at. Because the margins look exciting until you add in all these other facets, and then you get your true margin, which is where now, for VCs they come in at. So that's something to really think about.
Okay, thank you.
Each of these founders have showcased resilience, creativity, and ambition, and the judges are paying close attention. But who will they choose?
Most of these competitions, no one will give you 20 minutes, no one will give you 10 minutes. It's very unlikely you get 5 minutes. It's mostly 3 minutes, sometimes even 2. So a founder needs to be very clear on what they are addressing and what the attraction is and why them out of the many startups that will be there.
This is it, the moment Nairobi's been waiting for. Who will be selected to represent in the final stage in Mauritius?
Can I get an actual drum roll, please? And our winner, going to represent Kenya and Mauritius, is E-Moti.
For me, what I really liked about E-Moti was that the founders demonstrated that hustle culture. And I think that hustle culture is very important when it comes to building businesses.
The first day we tried out the pitch for this day, it was actually quite messy. And it was frustrating because we were like, you know, how can we not explain the solution, and we're the ones working on it. But over time, over a lot of iterations, we were able to do it.
E-Moti is the one that took the day today, but it doesn't mean the others are trash. It's just to keep building, keep believing in yourself, and get there, get to where you need to be.
From today's speech, the best advice I've gotten from the judges, obviously, strengthening our lending model, because that's where we struggled in terms of capital. We've had to sort of like do the lending in batch processes, so we have to wait for us to crowd fund, and then we finance a particular group of farmers, and then happens like that in cycles.
For the pitch today, what I feel went well, judges' feedback. It was quite insightful, expected, because we had already faced a couple of challenges prior, but also to just get that confirmation that this is needed. Yeah. So keep working on it. That has been a good thing for me.
First of all, knowing each other for a bit of time, so we've been knowing each other for around 6 years. That friendship and that, you know, being able to build that chemistry really allowed us to bounce off each other's energy.
They're willing to get their hands dirty and then still sit back and enter and navigate corporate dynamics. So if they can put that together within their strategy and plan when they go over to Mauritius, I think they'll have a competitive advantage.
Congratulations to our winner, E-Moti. The journey has just begun, proving with grit and vision anything is possible. Join us in our next episode. We'll take you to another city where new founders are prepared to dream big, pitch hard, and compete for the top prize. Join us as we continue to explore the future of entrepreneurship across Africa, one bold idea at a time.